to the 29th episode of the 3 Counting Out podcast. My name is Era V1, and this week I am joined by two co-hosts. Jackal is currently, he's too busy coaching Kennesaw State to the national championship, but
somebody's gotta.
Yeah, somebody's gotta. But gentlemen, we are officially, this episode is important because we are officially less than a month away from the start of the college football season, because we are 28 days away from football.
Feels good to be
I'm so
close.
excited. I've been so excited for football coming up. Oh God.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. And college football 25 just has me even more excited for actual
It's
college
just
football.
The hype to get to the hype.
Yeah, it's gonna be so good. It's gonna be such a good season, and especially playing around with like dynasty mode and getting to actually like see real schedules and stuff. I don't know about Michigan, but Penn State, we're gonna have a couple games, man. I might be a little bit more worried than I was before, but it is what it is, I guess.
Well, Kevin's not a Michigan fan, so I doubt he cares.
No, I don't care. Well, to be fair, I'm not a Jim Harbaugh fan. Like, I think that dude is just the geekiest, dorkiest white boy on God's green earth.
Well, then how do you feel about his brother?
I forgot. There's two of those guys, too, I forgot about.
They're both in football.
I know. And he seems like such a whiner. Like, every time he loses, it's not like, the other team outplayed us. It's like, no, we were cheated. The sign said we were going to win. And I lost it on my khakis. Like, he just seems like such a dork.
Maybe he is.
But he probably is. But besides that, I don't really care about Michigan. In fact, when it comes to Michigan and Ohio State, it's the one time I root for Ohio State.
So, do you have a team that you root for? Because I would have assumed that you were in the Michigan fan boat.
Not really. There. I mean, I like State just because it was different than Michigan. But when State wins, cool. When they lose, cool. Like, I don't really have a team. The reason I chose the Gators this year in our dynasty mode coming up is just because I know who the Florida Gators are more than I think State.
He's seen their team once or twice. He's like, yeah, that one.
Yeah, I thought alligators were cool.
I like the blue. So. The blue really pops.
Fair.
That's why I picked the Badgers. I just think Badgers are cool.
That's fair. Was it Badgers don't give a fuck? Is that what it is?
Yeah, the honey badger. Yeah,
honey badger don't give a fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I don't know if the Wisconsin badger is a honey badger. I don't think so.
No, but it's probably drunk, so it also doesn't give a fuck.
I'll tell you what. When I'm playing it, I'm drunk and I don't give a fuck.
Damn right, and enjoying it. We didn't introduce ourselves either.
You probably should.
Well, I needed a Xanax after Kennesaw State. I'm Mike, and boy, am I glad I don't have to touch that team again for at least a while.
I will talk about more of what that was, because I think whatever it was, I might touch today. I am indeed the man who can't keep Mike to a first down. I am Fire Guy Kev.
Scoring on him as we speak.
Oh man. So I know Mike, you've played Road to Glory and Dynasty mode. Kev, have you gotten a chance to really sit down and play those game modes yet?
Nope, that's gonna be my first time tonight live on stream, which you'll be able to watch by the time this comes out. I'm gonna do Road to Glory, I think. I'll do Dynasty mode when we do it.
Yeah.
Are you doing because you can go basically all the way from basically like an underdog, which would put you at a team like Kennesaw State, to a 5-star recruit, which gets you starting at teams like Michigan or Penn State.
Mm-hmm. Well, the 5-star recruit doesn't get you starting at Penn State; it gets you second. But you can apparently practice squad your way up. Well, I wasn't. I don't know. But apparently you can. I found out you can practice squad your way up from secondary to starter. So you realistically, if you want to sit down and put in the time and just run through practice for a couple of weeks, like I had probably my entire freshman year when I was playing, the entire freshman year, I had a couple of plays here and there, like a couple run plays, trick plays. But the most of it was just me running like practice, and you can even just like fucking simulate it and just like click through it real quick.
Do I just pick a team and a position?
A position, and like a difficulty.
And then you basically will pick you'll pick your position first, and you'll pick, if you're a 2, 3, 4, 5-star recruit.
Okay.
Then from there, it'll give you a list of all the schools, and it'll tell you like, hey, you're going to play, or hey, you're not.
So different schools will give you different offers.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like right away when I did quarterback, I picked Michigan because Orgy isn't rated that high. So I started right away. It was great.
Damn.
As a running back, I had to fight for my spot at Michigan because their running back's already great.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't played running back yet. I'm excited to do that.
How long is one session of Road to Glory?
What, like you're talking about going from like the
freshman
beginning of the
to senior?
season?
Yeah.
Poof.
Is this like, is this going to take me? It is? Okay. So whatever I pick, it better be a good one.
You're going to have a lot of streams, a lot of content. Because you're playing every single week from freshman year to senior year. And that includes when there's like bye weeks, you have to click through them. You have there's like tests that you have to study for because you're a student, and if your GPA drops too low, you become inactive. As I found out,
if you're at a good school, it is harder to maintain good grades than it is. At a normal
Holy
school.
Shit! Well, that's good to know. Okay.
Quite interesting. I could barely study, and I was at a 3.8. At Michigan, I was fully prepared, and I still got straight C's.
How do they grade you? Is it like? I mean, I'm gonna find out later, but
there's like different. It's like a little meter that fills up, and there's like different sections of it. So for each section, your GPA will increase by a certain amount. I don't know if it's like predetermined or anything, but essentially just the more points you put into studying, the higher your GPA will be. It will tell you like, hey, you have an exam coming up in 8 weeks, and you can be like, all right, I don't need to study this week, then I'll just fucking put it off. But it'll also tell you like, hey, you're prepared for your next exam, and it's like, all right, cool, I don't have to worry about this at all. But some other stuff that you do throughout the week, because you get like a certain amount of like activity points that you can use every week. So some stuff will affect your other stats. So like, if you do like the PR side of stuff, it'll bring down your studying. So you kind of have to like manage everything to an extent. But I mean, it can get easy of managing the points if you do it the right way. But you can also like, you could fuck yourself over by like, I would always say the biggest thing that I would always recommend is leave yourself 1 point. Because if you're in training and you get hurt, you can use that activity point to heal yourself before the game. So you lower your risk of getting hurt.
Okay, that's good to know.
You should be spending every point every week. So if you go through training and you don't get hurt, fucking blow it on whatever you want. But you should always leave yourself that little bit, just so that way if you do get hurt, you're not taking yourself out. Because I found out my junior year when I fucking ripped my shoulder apart, apparently, during a game, and got myself benched for the second half of my junior year when I was a quarterback of fucking Penn State. So, don't go too hard. You'll hurt yourself.
Okay. So can I just, if I really wanted to, could I just take all of these skill points and put them into education and just quit being a football player and become an astrophysicist?
No.
Yeah.
Damn it.
I mean, maybe if you pick UCF as your school, they're kind of like the space school because they're in Orlando.
All right. Okay. Is that the United San Franciscans?
Has opted out of football and chosen astronaut.
I mean, that sounds awesome, though. And then the game changes entirely.
Yeah,
space football.
Kevin's actually playing the astronaut simulator. Oh. I didn't know there was an option. Nobody did.
It's one of those secret endings.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I'll find out in a little bit, but that's actually interesting to know.
Yeah, there are some small things like that. Like you can wind up fucking yourself over if you're not careful. But I mean, at the same time, if you think things through just a little bit, it's not that hard. At the end of the day, it is just play your fucking role in football. Like.
Okay, that's fine. I could do that.
Yeah, I really like Road to Glory. I've been playing so much of that. I tried doing a Temple Dynasty, but they're like a 1.5 star program.
Damn.
Yeah.
So they suck. Temple, I am sorry. Y'all are slow as shit. I can't outrun anybody. It sucks. But Road to Glory is fun.
So, Mike, you and Kennesaw State, that was Road to Glory. Did you pick Kennesaw State knowing who they were?
Yeah, so what I did, right, is I first picked Northwestern. Because they're like, I think in the game, a 2-star recruit or whatever. Or a 2-star school. And I was like, okay, well, I want to see what it's like to work my way into starting, because it said I was like their second place quarterback.
Okay.
And it never changed. And I was like, okay, I guess I won't figure this out this time. And so I just kept on improving myself and changing everything. And finally the season ended and I was like, cool, that's done. Great. And then all of a sudden I entered the transfer portal and I was like, hey, Kennesaw, I could start there. Cool. I'll do that.
I see. Okay.
That was the best and worst choice because, I mean,
beginning of the end.
But holy shit, was that frustrating.
And are you specifically talking about that one Michigan game, or has it kind of all been frustrating?
Oh, no, I mean, so I started the first game that really got me was Clemson. And I faced them, and I think I restarted that one about 6 or 7 times.
Oh my god.
That Michigan game was actually only one. Yeah, Clemson was 6 or 7 times. Michigan was only once. Thank God. Because I might have just broken my controller. But it was... I mean, it's Kennesaw State's defense. It's not good. So, I score. Michigan scores. I score. Michigan scores.
You had a hell of a back and forth.
And that's just how it was the whole time. And I got to the point where I was like, okay, I want to be done. And then, thank God, Michigan fumbled or something. And I was like, oh, yay. Thank you.
Sweet relief.
A light at the end of the tunnel.
That's why the score was 63-58.
Yeah,
they had
it was
the
rough.
only team in the whole league that had more passing yards than me, but I outrushed them by 200 because I was just like, well, I'm going to run it because that's the only thing that works right now. And I was a quarterback running for their fucking lives.
Oh my god. All right, so is quarterback the easiest or the hardest one to choose?
Easiest.
Depends on the school.
By far.
Easiest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you have the most guaranteed play time. Running back, I would get about 3 plays.
A game?
No. So I'd get 3 plays, and then because he's a running back, he would get taken out.
Okay, naturally.
And another running back would go in. And then it'd be another couple plays, and then another running back would go in. But then again, as a running back, you're also going, well, what if the quarterback decides to pass? So I had to also
I see.
change the play every time to a run just so that I had a chance.
Okay. Okay, I see now. Damn, I'm surprised. I mean, I get it. It makes sense, but I'm just saying it. Who wouldn't choose quarterback then? Because that's obviously the most play time.
Well, I think people that pick wide receiver are probably psychopaths.
That's got to be the worst.
Because I'm sure half the time you're just standing there.
Yeah, standing there in double man. Yeah, good luck.
Yeah. And then defense, I was watching somebody play that earlier. I'm like, nope. Like, I mean, you've played against me. I'm already not good at it.
Yeah, I don't understand defense. The most I got is like blocking, but even then is I don't understand what I'm supposed to be doing besides running into people.
But see, like the whole camera's flipped, so you're playing it from the defense side.
Yeah, that fucked with me. Especially,
and they're just loving it. They're just loving it, having a great time. And I'm like, how and why?
That's for the people that just play defense in real life and
just getting their steps back in.
It's the dudes that played in high school that didn't like get a college scholarship and now they can live out their fantasies.
See, I would love to like try like all the positions, but the fact that it takes like that long, I'll probably start with quarterback. Honestly, I'm probably gonna start with quarterback because it is the most play time. That's kind of where you want what you want to do. But yeah, I do think trying defense would be like a fun watch because I don't have the slightest fucking clue what I'm doing when it comes to defense.
Yeah, I'm sure it would be fun to watch, but oh boy,
it's got to be rough.
Trying to do it, I don't know, man.
I'll see when it comes down to it. Hopefully it gives me like a little bit of a like synopsis for each one.
You know what I wish we could do? I want to see you versus Jackal. Defense stream versus defense stream. So both of you are only defense, not playing offense, facing each other. I don't know how that works, but that's what I want to see.
How would that work? Wait. So, like, would you just play their offense so that way they're both playing defense?
I don't know how it works, but like, because I know you can player lock, right?
Oh, can you? You're telling me. We just learned how to rename players in Dynasty mode last night. So we're still learning here. We're still learning.
This just in: Era dates a 7-foot-tall black man. Confirmed in last night's stream.
Confirmed. Best wide receiver.
Slow as molasses, though, I saw.
Yeah, but tall as shit, so they can catch everything. Real easy to place it above, man. Real easy.
Jackal's family is literally just a fridge running around.
How do you...
This game is fun and can also be very frustrating.
Yeah. Mike, how do you feel about the Road to Glory, that zoomed in camera? Are you a fan of it? I zoomed it right the fuck back out.
Yeah, I zoomed it. So my first season, I didn't know you could adjust the camera. So I didn't know you could adjust the camera. I didn't know that you could change the plays. I didn't know you could do any of that. So I'm just like confused.
You could also check coverage. Did you know that too?
Yeah, I knew that one. I'm used to that one. But like, I haven't done this Road to Glory, so I was just sitting there. I was like, man, this camera angle sucks. And then I'm like, man, I only get to pick one play. When do I get to unlock it? This is so stupid. And then I was like, oh, I hit triangle. Oh, okay.
Yeah, you hit triangle, and then it lets you be a quarterback. But you piss off your... I love how your coaches get so fucking pissed if you change the play on them and you fuck up.
Well, that's just it. If you don't fuck up, it's just fine.
Yeah. Yeah, you better know what you're doing. I at one point, it was like fourth quarter, and I changed it to a Hail Mary just to fuck around, and I just like... I was up like, I think like 20 points or something like that. Like, it was literally just fuck around. And it turned into an interception, and then like the next week I had an angry text from my coach. He was like, don't you ever try that again. I was like, oh.
The one thing I did find out, because when you're Kennesaw State, you play teams like FCC East, whatever that is.
That's a school somewhere in the United States.
Yeah. What I did find out is that if you're up 49-0 before the half, they bench you.
Damn. You just have to play it out.
No, I mean they bench you. So like I just simmed the rest of it, or it simmed all the way to the end, and I was like, I don't get to go back in. What the fuck is this?
They probably threw in their fucking fourth string at that point.
Yeah, well, and playing a team like that after playing a team like Clemson, oh boy, is that a breath of fresh air? Because you're just like, I legitimately was sitting here like, okay, Clemson, I have to be perfect, and then I fucked up, and I was like, fuck, and then I restarted. And I was like, all right, I'll try this again, and then I fuck up again. I'm like, damn it! So I have to restart, and then I play FCC East, and I'm just like, oh, I'll close my eyes this time. Let's see where the throw goes.
It sounds like fun. I'm actually really excited to try this out.
Yeah, I think you're going to enjoy it, Kev. I think you'll like it.
I don't know if... No, you were in Jekyll's stream early last night, so I don't know if you saw my stuff, but I legitimately, like, I was fucking around when I made my Michigan quarterback, and I legitimately made a young Trent 7. He's just not fat.
Oh, God.
And I was like, oh, well, this works, I guess. Got the fancy mustache and everything.
Oh.
Hey, man, if it works, it works.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Hey, you know what else we have to talk about that we are also a part of? Wrestling. We need to probably talk about some wrestling and not just this game, huh?
Yeah.
There was indeed some wrestling, and wrestling starts in an hour.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because last week on Raw, we watched Bo Dallas get his ass kicked.
Yeah.
And he was into it. Yeah, hey man, good for him. Good for him.
I think, yeah.
Everybody has their kinks.
I'm glad that what was obviously everybody saw is the conjoined forces of the Creed brothers and Chad Gable. It was everybody knew it was kind of going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm glad it actually did happen though. This actually seems like this seems like a faction that could actually go somewhere.
And it's going to be good for like a heel Chad Gable too.
Exactly. And I do think they're not going to do it, but I think what they should do is literally like murder like Otis, Tozawa, and Sami Zayn or whoever. Just like they need to show strong. I feel like they need to have like a tag team match. Be like, I need you guys anyway. And then it's just a massacre. Like I want Otis through like all tables.
Yeah, I think they should do that, but they should do it like backstage. Because something about like, I'm just imagining like Chad Gable just suplexing motherfuckers, but like in a suit, like it'd just go hard doing it in the suit, and have that extra level of like professionalism to it. And I feel like when they do stuff backstage, you can get away with making it a little bit more violent, so. I feel like they definitely could do it.
Yeah. Just make an impact. Just like make them a threat. That way, when the Wyatt Six come after them, it actually seems like a threat and not just like kicking kids around.
Yeah, it's not just a dude.
Yeah. Like, I want to see these three be like, you know what? Damn, they're going to give them a run for their money. And then when it's a good match, it just means more. Will they do it? I doubt it, but you never know.
So who do you say? It seems like they're directly targeting. They're like, oh no, Chad Gable and the Creed brothers are going to be the ones that have to face the Wyatt Six first.
Yeah. And I'm really surprised by that. I'm surprised they chose Chad Gable. Nothing against him, but like, did he ever have a run-in with Bray Wyatt like once ever?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Right?
I think it's mostly just because they're trying to do like. The Wyatt Six is going after him because he like betrayed the Alpha Academy. He like betrayed his family, kind of thing.
I mean, I guess that would make sense, but also then I'll nitpick it even more. What do they care? What is he trying? What story? Like I don't know. I feel like they should have gone after like someone that had more of a emotional attachment to Bray. Like Randy Orton probably wouldn't have been a good one. I can't think of anyone else right now. I don't know. Alexa Bliss.
Yeah, I mean, LA Knight's working with Logan Paul.
LA Knight would have been a great one. But yeah, he's working with Paul. I don't know. It's just, I still like where it's going. I'm still intrigued by where it's going. But at this current moment in time, I'm just not really sure why it's Chad Gable. I feel like there could have been a better story, but there's still time. I'm not going to be one guy that goes, this shit sucks.
I think they're just doing Chad Gable to play it safe. You know, they're like, hey, who can we put in this feud that won't fuck it up?
Also, like,
Chad can do anything. Let's put him in there.
That's fair.
Also, like, if they beat Chad Gable in a wrestling match, they look really good. You know what I mean? Like, that's a really good opponent to be beating. I mean, granted, he's taken a lot of losses recently, but like he's still an Olympian. He's still like he's still supposed to be like the wrestler's wrestler on the roster. You know, like he's the guy. So especially now when he's kind of
or something
Perk
too.
Angle. Is he a doctor?
I don't know if he's a doctor, if he has like a doctorate. I thought he'd got, I don't know what it is exactly. I mean, I have a computer in front of me, but he got like a degree for master's or doctorate or something.
Well, he calls himself the master.
Oh, maybe he got a master then.
Oh,
Master Gable.
Master Vader.
Oh, no.
Well, maybe. Got to keep them biceps looking big.
Exactly.
Good way to keep them, firm.
Keep a couple things firm.
He wants to make sure he looks tough.
Yeah. I'm curious to see what happens tonight with it. Like, it's an interesting story. Like, I'm intrigued. I want to see where it goes next week and everything, but I also feel like we also took so long of hyping it up. Like, the vignettes were like 3 months, and then people, just when it started to get like, all right, guys, we get it. They debut, and it's like, okay, a little bit of a shot to the arm, okay. And now we're at kind of place again where we're like, all right, well, let's, do something now with it. Like, I feel like there needs to be like another spike of adrenaline.
I think
it's weird that they brought them in and they were like, now look, movies.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. I think they need a match. That's what they need.
Which I assume will be SummerSlam.
Especially since you have Bo Dallas on Raw, not Uncle Howdy, Bo Dallas. I feel like you can get away with having them lose their first match. Because I feel like I feel like the story that they're going to tell is you can't have you can't have 6 people out or 5 or 6 people out there, depending on if Alexa Bliss comes back. You can't have 5 or 6 people out there fucking no selling and everyone doing the Fiend gimmick. That's not going to work long term. But if you have it so that way, like when they're themselves, they're vulnerable, they can lose. But then when they're behind the kind of Wyatt mask, that's what makes them strong. You can kind of use that to tell that story.
You know what they ended up doing is they kind of combine like Bray Wyatt's family with like Sanity. Almost. Yeah. Where they were like, hey, here's all these normal people that are just messed up. And then but you have the Wyatt family where it's like, but they're all a family. They're all together now.
See, I think that's exactly what it is. Just based off of last week, I'm going off, is they should just make it very straightforward and simple. They are not the Fiend. They are not, unstoppable forces of nature. But together, they'll fuck you up. Like, Bo Dallas ain't going to win a match. Like, I mean, he still could. Don't make him like, a little weak baby boy.
Right. No, he's still, I mean, even Bo Dallas before the WWE was still an accomplished, wrestler.
But it's the group itself that's the threat. It's the group. Right. It's not just one. It's all of them. When they're all together, that's the threat. So I feel like they should stick with that.
Yeah. Which of the 3 do you think are going to be the trio that goes up against Chad Gable and the Creed brothers?
Gacy, Rowan, and
Loomis.
Loomis probably. Well,
yeah.
I say that, but I feel like that has to be it. And Bo is just kind of like the ringleader, right?
Yeah. So I feel like he'd be the high-profile matches, not these.
Yeah, I feel like Bo is. I don't know if they're going to put him on SummerSlam, but like I feel like he's going to be like he's going to be the singles guy for sure.
Yeah, I would think so.
Regardless, I'm curious. I'm very curious to see where it goes. And tonight is hopefully hopefully tonight would do very well to be just a little bit of a spike of storytelling, not another videotape. Like, I don't know. I feel like I need something a little more.
Yeah. I think it was very, very good for them to start it the way that they did, where it was just like, all right, the Wyatt Six has shown up on Raw and everyone's fucking dead. You know, like that has been very, very good. But like after weeks of
start,
they were just sleepy.
But yeah, they weren't. I'm sorry, they weren't dead. Yeah. Chad Gable was not shot in the side of the head. But
no,
like
it was catch up.
But like after after having like the security guards get mysteriously incapacitated for 3 or 4 weeks, and they hand Michael Cole and Pat McAfee these tapes, and then last week you see Bo Dallas getting his ass beaten, and the Y6 come out to the ring, but Chad Gable and the Creed brothers run away, which is understandable. I'd run away too. But like I feel like now they're here. They've been established as like, when they're like these evil people, they can fuck people up. But now you need to put them actually in front of people. They need to be like in a ring. Maybe they don't need to have a match yet. I think they should have a match. I don't think it should happen on SummerSlam. I think they should have their fucking trios match or whatever. That should be on Raw. But I feel like they need to at least do more stuff kind of out on the stages, and maybe we see them fuck someone up while they're masked up, and maybe it's not all 6 of them, so Chad Gable doesn't have to get shot in the side of the head again, but maybe it's maybe it's Joe Gacy and Dexter Lumis, and that's enough to they fuck up the Creed brothers, but the Creed brothers are able to make it away or something like that, like something like that, where they're at least out there and you see them in action, and like that's the payoff. As
long as Goldberg comes back and squashes them, I'm happy. That's it.
All of them at the same time.
Goldberg
at the same time.
Yeah, Bo Dallas is getting stomped by Chad Gable and the Creed brothers, and you hear Goldberg. They start all the way from the locker room. He walks out slow because it's all about the entrance. He gets out to the ring. He throws a couple bad rights and bad lefts. He grabs a mic and he goes, "Bo Dallas, I want you in Saudi Arabia." And then he smashes his head into a door and bleeds.
And then he tries to jackhammer Eric Rowan, can't lift him up, and then he has to just spear him anyways.
Yeah.
It's all coming together now.
What really grinds my gears is that I know there's wrestling fans out there that are like, that would actually love that, and that pisses me off for some reason.
Yeah. I mean, but hey, you were speaking of Eric Rowan. I want to point out that tape that I know we're giving him shit for that, where it's like, oh, another vignette. Come on, so, they're already on Raw. That was quick.
I just
really
want to point
good
this
promo.
Out because it's taken so long. I feel like if we were in the old era run by the crotchety old man, he'd be like, "This isn't getting on," and he would have sunk the ship. And I already know how he would have done it. One of those tapes would have accidentally been like a faux porno, and then he would have turned it into a comedy angle and tanked it within like 6 months or 2 weeks.
For sure. Yeah.
Damn teed.
I was just like, I was waiting. I was like, man, I just know if this was the Vince McMahon era, this would just be blown up so fast.
Oh yeah, Vince McMahon hated the Fiend. He hated it.
Yeah.
I don't know why or how. Is it just
because it was better than anything he could think of? It was something that he didn't think of
it. Well, that is true. He's also notoriously known for it's such a, I won't say wrestling thing, but I will at least say it's a him thing. If you get over when you're not supposed to, you are then buried. You only get over when he says so. That's why Rusev, when he got over huge, never heard from him again because he was not on my watch.
Listen, Vince wanted him to be Husky Harris.
Yeah.
He never, ever, ever thought Husky Harris was going to turn into the Fiend, let alone be someone who was now this immortalized figure in WWE. Think about that. He could have just been in the history books as Husky Harris, and he probably would have gotten fired from WWE and Bray probably still would have had an amazing, accomplished indie career, but it would have been nothing more than like Ring of Honor.
Future endeavored.
There's a difference.
That's what they used to call it.
Right, but like, you know, like he would like maybe he would have showed up on early AEW, maybe, but like there's a very real opportunity that Bray Wyatt could have just been Husky Harris, and that's just always like weird to me. Like whenever they're showing like the Bray Wyatt memorials and stuff, and it's like, damn, this dude really went from like the bottom of the barrel. Like,
yeah.
That's what I mean, some of the other people don't get that end up getting released is like the amount of work he did to rebrand himself and make things work. Nobody else did that, really. Like, nobody else is trying to actively do that. So then you get people that are released that are people are like, well, how'd they get released? I don't get it. And it's like, well, when nobody cares that you exist, you have to
the writing's on the walls.
At the end of the day, WWE is a business, and they're not even a business, a publicly owned company. You have to make it worth it for them. Like, it's not that they're a bad wrestler. It's just, hey, they weren't making money.
Yeah, I will say, real quick, touching on releases, the fact that they don't have the Street Profits. The Street Profits went from being, I think, vastly entertaining to just another team. And it's like, why? You have a dude that is super athletic, more so than most of the people in that ring right now, and his partner that has worked his ass off to get in shape and do even more shit. And you're just like, fuck him.
Yeah, I enjoyed Bobby Lashley in the Street Profits. I liked that. I liked the Hurt Business. I liked all of that. So, I mean, I understand... Like I understand that it was, probably just a business decision or whatever. It was nothing, against them or anything like that. But like at the same time, I just don't understand how you have that in your hands and you don't that's money right there. The Street Profits at one point they were one of the most over tag teams ever. Yeah, their entrance was a gimmick, but people loved it. It was like that's the kind of shit that like. They got that gimmick taken away, and then it just became, a generic tag team. And then they got paired with Bobby Lashley, and it was like, okay, now you're just going to wear black and gold forever. And it's like, but the Street Profits wore cool clothes, and they, that was their thing. That was the whole point of the Street Profits was that they were cool, and now they're just like Bobby Lashley's henchmen. I mean, I thought it was good, but at the same time, it's like, I feel like it could have been a lot better, especially if they, if they tried to do it like a Hurt Business 2.0 or something like that. I feel like it could have worked out really well.
Yeah.
Well, on the bright side, I'm glad to have new champions like the DIY. Mm-hmm. I'm glad that they actually get the acknowledgement. I mean, they should have had these belts a while ago. But the thing is, we're in an era now, the Triple H Renaissance era, where it's not how many title reigns you get. It's you get one, maybe two. I'll make them as long as I can. It's up to you to do that what you will. So we're not getting a lot of tag teams because by the time their reign is over, you've already had like 3 teams go in and out. So it's like, I don't know. I kind of miss the days where like the titles would flip flop a little more and we had like 8-time world champions instead of like, well, they held it for once, 887 days, but it was a one good one.
Yeah. I feel like we're going to see a lot more mid-card. I feel like we're going to see a lot more mid-card title changes once Raw goes to Netflix, because I am a firm believer in the 17-time world champion John Cena theory. I think they're giving it to him.
I hope to God.
I feel like it's going to be
deserves it. It's him.
Yeah, and he's
fuck Flair.
He's working Raw on Netflix.
Yeah, he is.
The entire year. Who better to be your champion for the entire year? Your entire first year on Netflix. What face besides maybe The Rock is more recognizable than John Cena?
Yeah.
So I feel like we're going to see a lot more mid-card title changes. I feel like the IC title is about to become hot potato. And hopefully the tag titles keep moving as well. Because as long as all of your mid-card titles stay changing, you can kind of turn that into a thing where it's like, oh, well, these are always defended on your normal TV shows, and then your world heavyweight gets defended on your pay-per-views, and you can kind of string John Cena that way.
Said it like weeks ago. That's exactly how it should be. Yeah. Your world titles, that's your champion, runs your company. He gets the monthly pay-per-views. If you want to make it a special occasion, like on a Raw or something, cool. But your mid titles should be defended like on Raw and SmackDown, and occasionally on pay-per-views. Your tag titles, same thing. Just keep it interesting. And I like the fact that the titles used to kind of rotate. Maybe not hot potato, but
right. Yeah, maybe hot potato is a bad way to put it.
Yeah, I mean, but still kind of that. I mean, I'm not saying like Raw to Raw to Raw to Raw. There's 6 new champions. That'd be kind of stupid, but I wouldn't mind like where the fact that any team could really win. Like, I hate it just because they have, but DIY has it for like a month and then they lose it at SummerSlam, but then, they can get it right back at like the next one. It just kind of keeps it like entertaining. Like, cause I miss those days of I don't miss those days of where Roman's like, well, I'll probably watch everything up to the main event because of course Roman's going to win. He's at 1,000 days. They're not going to drop it now. It's just, I hated those.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think WWE definitely knows how to keep things special. I feel like Triple H is really good about keeping his like pay-per-views or PLEs, whatever you want to call them. I feel like he's really good about keeping them at that, we make fun of him for it, but like at that 5-match limit. He's like, no, the important shit is going here. Anything else can happen on Raw or SmackDown. And that is entirely different from if we look at AEW, which at the point of this episode coming out, this would have already happened. But for us, sitting on Monday, this happens on Wednesday. AEW, randomly, on a fucking Wednesday night, free TV, Blood and Guts. They're doing War Games, baby.
Yeah, it's weird that they were just like, you know what? Sure, let's just do this. Why not?
And that's
on just a random Wednesday?
And that's not the only. I mean, we got like there's the Blood and Guts match that's announced, which is probably going to be most of the show, if I had to imagine. There's Chris Jericho versus Minoru Suzuki, which is the first Chris Jericho match that I've cared about in forever, and it's for the FTW Championship because why not? And I don't know if Suzuki's going to win. But I would like to see Suzuki as the FTW champion. I feel like that'd be really cool. They don't know what they're fucking doing with Jericho anyway. MJF is announced to be showing up and saying something. I don't know.
He's probably gonna talk some shit.
Yeah, and we have Britt Baker back, which means the women's division is watchable again. So like, this is gonna be a great Dynamite coming up. They just don't know how to keep fucking Blood and Guts special.
May.
Oh yeah, yeah. The new Mariah May. Now that she's not copying Timeless Tony Storm, I loved that pairing though. I thought they did.
Yeah, they did a great job with that.
Oh, it was paced out so perfectly with her like going through the different looks of Tony Storm until she finally got to the Timeless look. Which first of all,
she's probably going to beat her for the belt.
I mean, yeah, probably. But okay, what the fuck was up with with Tony Schiavone? Did you hear him on Dynamite last week?
No, I saw somebody online say something about what he said.
Yeah, so Mariah May is dressed like Timeless Tony Storm. So she walks to the ring, and it's in black and white, and she really, in this time, really looks like Tony Storm. Yeah. And people were confused. And when she got to the ring, people kind of realized, okay, this is obviously Mariah May. And she walked up to the ropes.
There's a difference.
Well, I mean, yeah, or look at the ass. But she got up to the ring and people realized, okay, this is Mariah May. But she leaned on the ropes and looked at the camera and just kind of let the crowd boo her for a little bit, And as she's doing that, Tony Schiavone, commentary is silent. They are not talking. Tony Schiavone just goes, come on, speak, you bitch. And they're like, whoa! Like, everyone on commentary was like, God damn, Tony.
Tell us how you really feel. Jeez.
Yeah, which, I mean, I know it's AEW commentary, and, you know, they do their fake bickering thing, and, you know, it's all part of it. I know, but, like, God damn, man. Tony Schiavone was like, yeah, I'll say it. You need someone to say this line? Yeah, I got you. Fuck yeah, dude. But I mean, this match is gonna be insane. The Blood and Guts match. It's team elite. So it's the Young Bucks,
Matt, Nick,
yeah, Okada, Hangman, and Jack Perry versus Team AEW. Which is the
Darby,
Acclaimed,
Swerve,
the Acclaimed, Darby, Swerve, and Mark Briscoe, who is him and Darby Allin being on the same team in a match like this. It's gonna be insane.
It makes me feel unsafe, and
it's gonna be a fun watch.
It makes me wonder why this is happening on free TV. You know, like, I mean, this is the same match where, like, the last time they did this, wasn't this like the exploding super kicks? Like,
yeah, I think so.
Like this is like you could put this in Wembley. Why are you doing this here?
The last time Jack Perry and Darby got in a ring together, they were putting Darby through that glass. Weren't they?
Yeah.
I remember that was a rough spot.
They're only going to go up from there, I'm sure.
Yeah, and they're in a random fucking. No offense to Nashville, but they're in a random fucking Dynamite doing this shit. Like what? Why? I just don't understand why you would have a match like this for a company that, you know, I went to an AEW show, man. They're struggling to sell. So I don't understand why they wouldn't hold on to this for, like, their shows where they know they need to fill. Like, if they need to fill Wembley this year. If they don't fill Wembley this year after WWE has had fucking sold out after sold out after sold out PLE abroad, if they don't at least come close to selling out Wembley, that's a bad sign for AEW. If they put this in Wembley, they would sell out Wembley. I don't understand. I could understand if they were maybe doing this and they didn't have Mark Briscoe and Darby Allin, and to that extent, Mark Briscoe, Darby Allin, and Swerve Strickland. Let's not forget his Texas death match that he had with Hangman, who's on the other team. That, like, this match is such a it's such a good match, and I'm not trying to complain about it, right? I'm just confused. Like, why is Tony Khan doing this for free? And I mean, maybe I don't know how big the arena is in Nashville. Maybe it's bigger than their usual, and they're really, really scared. Maybe Tony Khan just really means it when he says AEW is for the sickos. I don't know, man. But listen, if AEW is for the sickos, I'll be a sicko, because, like, this match is going to be fucking insane, and I'm really looking forward to it.
The only thing I can actually think of why you'd have this on Random Dynamite is I'm going to assume it has something to do with shareholders, something to do with, like, TNT.
They're here or something.
Yeah, like, we got to put on a good match. We got to show them that we can still do that. It's probably more for that, because you're right. That is a headline match that you want to have, but I guarantee you the stock shareholder's son is going to be in town. We got to show them that we can, sell a show.
Yeah.
So it's probably something like that.
You're probably right, but, like, I don't know. I feel like the last time they had, like, the TNT shareholders, or maybe it was the Turner shareholders, but I feel like the last time they had them in the audience was when they let MJF call Tony Khan a fucking mark. Because I remember they, like, made a big deal about that they, like even before MJF did his promo, Which, I mean, obviously that was the point of them making the big deal about it, is that he was going to call Tony Khan a fucking mark. But, like, I'm wondering if come Wednesday, which at this point we would already know if they did this, but I'm wondering if come Wednesday we get like we have a sold out house and the Turner executives are in the house or something like, like something like that, where they at least mention
MJF
that they're
just
there.
Comes out and goes, "You're a fucking nerd, bro."
Yeah, if MJF hey, they are advertising. All it says is, "We'll hear from new AEW International Champion MJF." So I don't know if he has a match. It sounds like he's at least going to be getting a promo. So hey, he may call someone a fucking mark.
To Mexico. So
is he?
Can't be. He already said he's taking it to CML to one of their pay-per-views to defend it.
Yeah, CMLL. They just got a new. They just did a fucking, or maybe it was AAA, but they did a swap. The newest luchador on the AEW Collision on their Saturday show. It's Hologram, I think his name is, right?
Yeah, and everybody was like, "Oh my god, it's Ricochet!" So he had to point out, like, I would have had to lose a bunch of weight and get shorter,
and also lose all of his tattoos.
Yeah,
and become Mexican. But yeah, like, I don't know what AEW is trying to do there, because they put out like a really cool vignette. That was a really cool teaser for, like, here's this person named Hologram, and they showed the mask, and they showed just enough where people were like, "Oh, this is going to be good." And then, like, he had a good debut against, I think it was Gringo Loco, but like, it's also a debut against Gringo Loco. You know what I mean?
Well, I think they literally went, shit, we need to have him have a match against the safest person possible.
Yeah, like, I mean, no, nothing against Gringo Loco. He's the wrestler. I'm not. Hey, I'm not saying any of that. But, like, I feel like, I don't know, man. I feel like it should have just been a higher profile opponent. And I feel like there are dudes that you could maybe have Hologram get, like, the upset win or something like that, you know?
Like they did with Action Andretti, and then they haven't done anything since.
Yeah, Action and when he had his one fucking tag match with Hook. Oh, not Action Andretti, that's Action Bronson.
Action Andretti debuted, beat Chris Jericho.
Yeah, that's right. No, I'm sorry.
Like,
yeah.
All right, what are we doing with him now? And
there's too many.
I don't know.
There's too many people with Action in their name, and they're not doing any action.
Seems a little redundant.
But yeah, no, I don't know. I feel like I saw a cool theory online that it was gonna be like Sami Zayn coming back with like Dragon Ball Z inspired gear, which I thought that was a really cool idea, but I mean, obviously that wasn't the case. The Hologram is actually a wrestler named Aramis. I think I'm saying that correct. Aramis. He came from Mexico, so it's like, you know, it's. I guess maybe they're Sin Cara, I guess, is kind of what they're trying to do, but
so still bad.
I mean, listen, I don't know if you watched the match against Gringo Loco, but
I did. No, he's already better than Sin Cara.
Yeah, he's better than Sin Cara. So, but I mean, that's a low bar. Although Mystico was pretty good when he was on AEW. It's a shame that Mystico never got to WWE. It's a shame that it was Sin Cara, because if he was in a mask where he could see, he would have actually been able to hit his moves.
That's true.
As someone who's wore a Sin Cara mask, that used to be a channel point redeem on my Twitch channel. It sucked. That's why I'm a VTuber now, so that way I don't have to do that shit.
But on the flip side, a company that is finding success by suckling the teat of WWE, TNA. I know we were discussing it earlier. Actually, sold out a pay-per-view for the first time in forever.
Yeah, Slammiversary.
Yeah, and I think, like I said, I think they had like their highest gate in like 10 years or something like that.
Man, good for them.
Yeah, I mean, they're putting on good matches again. They're getting their belts off of all their drunk dads, so that's cool.
That really is like, I know what you're talking about. That's the TNA body type right there. Yeah.
Yeah. Who's playing? Oh, drunk stepdad. That's who.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's who's on TV today. And I'm like, the only thing that didn't make sense is Alicia Edwards and her partner still retained their belt for some reason. Matt Hardy won because, yeah, I mean, we all love that, right?
Because he's Matt Hardy.
Yeah, who?
Over JDC? I know. Crowd goes wild, right?
Exactly. Yeah, sure. Mm-hmm. That's a name.
That guy. Yeah. That was the pre-show. So but on the main card, we had the System's Eddie Edwards and Brian Myers lost to ABC, which was Ace Austin and Chris Bay. Thank God. Because the System, like I said, looks like a bunch of drunk dads. So,
yep.
About time we have people that look like wrestlers again and not former, no offense to ECW, but they don't look like the high quality wrestlers that ECW had. They look like today's wrestler. Mike Santana faced Jake something, which is still the weirdest name in wrestling.
But you don't like Jake something? It's his name. Jake something.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's you're just gonna be. Who are you? I'm Jake something.
Yeah, okay. I feel like that's one of those names where it's like I don't see that on the WrestleMania marquee. Like that's
no.
Yeah, you need a last name at least, or just not a last name at all. It'd just be Jake.
And Mike Santana won, so that's
good for him,
I guess. Yeah. And then in a battle of kind of TNA versus NXT, which is really just part of NXT versus more of NXT, the Rascals beat the No Quarter Catch crew. And I'm sure the Rascals probably looked amazing because those three together always put on a magic show.
Yeah, that's weird to me that that's like, is that the most WWE presence that they've had on TNA? I understand the Rascals. I understand sending Wes Lee back to TNA. Like, that's a big thing. But, like, No Quarter Catch Crew, that's the opponents for them. They got, Will Regal's son and two other dudes?
Yeah.
So, after gracefully leaving WWE, when is Dolph Ziggler going to be back on TV, but not as Dolph Ziggler?
We're going to get to that because that's... He was quote unquote out with an injury on Thursday. But the next match, and I'm sure everybody's most anticipated, AJ Francis, aka Top Dollar.
Oh boy!
Defended the TNA Digital Media Championship. Oh, and International Heavyweight Championship. Sorry, against PCO. And PCO won and got engaged to Steph DeLander, so everything's coming up Millhouse for him.
Congrats to the happy couple.
Like 68 too?
I don't know how old he is. He looks far too old for that. But,
yeah.
Hey, what do I know?
I mean, good for you.
And
why not?
In a match that probably was one person carrying the other entirely, because I'm sure we've all seen Dana Brooke matches. I know she's worked her ass off over the years. Doesn't mean she's gotten better.
No, she's still Dana Brooke.
But it was her versus Jordan Grace for the Knockouts Championship.
Ooh, riveting stuff.
Amazing. Well, I mean, so easy win for Jordan, huh?
Thank God, yes.
Picked up that toothpick, slammed her on her head.
Because if she would have lost, I don't know what I would have done.
Yeah, that would have been a rough loss. That would have been
like rough. Dana Brooke as your main champion on your show, main women's champion on your show, just seems like a big no-no.
Nah, yes, especially when your other option is Jordan Grace. Like,
well, yeah, and right now, unfortunately, there's only like two other women that should beat Jordan Grace. And she's already beaten them all.
What, you don't think Rebby Hardy should have a chance against Jordan Grace?
If Rebby Hardy ever wins a title in any pay-per-view, I will stop watching immediately.
What? You don't think she can hit a whisper in the wind?
Skill. Yeah, it's nepotism if it's anything.
A twist of fate from Rebby Hardy. Take her down.
I bet she would somehow miss.
Didn't Rebby get speared through a table a couple of weeks ago?
I hope so. I don't know. I don't watch things she's in. I don't need to.
That's fair. Oh, hey, you're giving us the TNA report.
I notice how I didn't bring up her name at all.
That's fair, yeah. I don't blame you for not watching the fucking TNA pre-show or whatever.
No.
Is that 50 cents or is that free?
What, the pre-show?
Yeah.
That's probably free, but I mean, I would have had to buy Slammiversary to watch it, which, no.
Yeah, just watch the ticks on Clip Clop. The ticks on Clip Clop. Watch the clips on TikTok.
You got some backwards ass TikTok?
Anybody smell some burnt toast? Any?
You got TikTok from Temu.
What are you watching? Oh, I'm watching Clip Clop.
I'm watching Clip Clop. Get out of my room, Mom. I'm watching Clip Clop. That's what the government's afraid of.
Huh?
All these youths watching Clip Clop.
Terry, the kids are watching Clip Clop.
3 years from now, that's going to be a thing. We're going to have to look back at our own podcast and be like, I can't believe we called that.
Yeah,
we knew it.
Yeah, when TikTok gets banned and Clip Clop comes in, I want you guys to come back to this. We're gonna go after them. We're gonna trademark it.
Hopefully we get some royalties out of that. That's all I ask for.
Listen, we were advertising for you long before you even came along, okay? But in an actual good match, we had Mustafa Ali versus Speedball Mike Bailey, and even though Speedball Mike Bailey has, I think, one of the worst looks a wrestler has ever had.
You don't like the mullet with the bare feet?
No, I fucking hate the way he looked. If he was in WWE, they would have changed his look 47 times already.
Oh yeah, he'd have a buzz cut.
Yeah.
And shoes.
But they did something that I don't think any company would have had the balls to do in Montreal. Mustafa Ali put Speedball Mike Bailey in a sharpshooter.
Oh, wow.
And who comes down? Earl Hebner.
Oh no!
What are they going to recreate? The Montreal Screwjob.
Oh my God!
And thank God. At the last second, Earl was going to ring the bell, and you can just tell this crowd is starting to fucking turn. And he goes, "I'm not gonna do it." And Speedball Mike Bailey ends up winning. But it was one of those moments I was like, if they do this, I feel like if they would have actually done that, number one, somebody probably would have gotten stabbed. But
yeah.
Number two, I think that would have made their stock skyrocket.
Yeah, that would have been the move, honestly.
But Speedball Mike Bailey did end up winning in a great match.
And I mean, he's going to be he has been a great X Division champion. So like, by all means, let's keep it going.
Yeah. And then in the match where everybody thought that Joe Henry's time was now, just everybody make sure he's not all of a sudden outside your window now that I mentioned his name.
I just got a notification that someone's in front of my door as soon as you said his name.
Oh, that's my bad. I knew he was.
That's not a joke. There's somebody in front of my door.
Maybe it's Ho Gendry.
That's actually just me.
Oh,
I like looking in while.
Is that you out there, Mike?
Yeah, I like looking in while we do the podcast. Make sure you're
that's
okay.
fair. Yeah, no, I get it. It's more personal that way. Yeah.
Yeah, makes me feel like we're all closer.
If you want, I can open my blinds and you can look right through the window.
Ooh, I would appreciate that. I like what you're wearing, anyways. But it was Joe Henry versus Frankie.
Wait,
Kazarian.
are you saying Henry or I thought it was Hendry?
It is Hendry. I didn't mean to say Henry.
No, you're good.
Joe Hendry versus
Put the
Frankie
phlegm into it.
Kazarian, Josh Alexander, Steve Macklin, Moose, and the person that was quote unquote injured, Nick Nemeth. So he ended up in the main event, and early on, Joe Hendry eliminated Moose, which guaranteed a new champion. Joe Hendry got eliminated by Josh Alexander, and Nick Nemeth went on a super kick frenzy, eliminated Josh Alexander, and then it got down to Kaz versus Nick, and we got a new champion in Nick Nemeth, aka Dolph Ziggler, finally getting his world title after getting his head caved in by Alberto Del Rio, or
Yep.
Yeah,
El Patron.
So it's been a long time, but I mean he's had a good run the last. Good for him.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Nick Nemeth's super kicks? Do you think he's one of the guys that could still use it? Because I feel like the Young Bucks, I don't like when they super kick someone. No, it's fuck you with your.
Well, that's because you've seen them throw 1.5 million super kicks over the last.
Yeah,
10
but like
years.
Dolph, I feel like when Dolph or Nick Nemeth, whatever you want to call him, when he hits a super kick, I feel like that's the closest we have to a sweet chin music right now. Like I feel like he could hit one and be done with it.
Person that can do it as a finisher.
Yeah.
Now, anyways. But yeah, that was their pay-per-view. Pretty good.
Good on them for selling as much as they did.
Yeah, I mean, they sold out. They used some WWE NXT talent. I think they need to get more of it over there, because I'll say this, when it would have been on, I can't remember when I told you if it was this week or last week, but the Impact where Jordan Grace faced Izzy Dale, whatever, Izzy from NXT, that match was fucking spectacular. And then I was like, wait, but she's facing Dana Brooke at Slammiversary?
Yeah.
Brother,
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. I don't see the equivalent exchange here. Like I don't see how WWE gets Jordan Grace and Joe Hendry and Frankie Kazarian and all this stuff, and WWE or TNA gets William Regal's son. Like I don't get it. I don't really get it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I know Joe Hendry is probably going to eventually get sniped by WWE.
Oh, Jordan Grace too. Her TNA contract is up in 2025. She's going to go right over to Raw.
Yeah. Hopefully not. I hope she goes to NXT and gives them a little boost. Just because I think by 2025, Roxanne's probably going to be gone. Sol Ruka, they're going to have her doing flippy shit on the main roster. Kalani Jordan.
Yeah, they're going to get Sol Ruka up as quickly as possible.
Yeah. But.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, we're just in this spot right now. We're like, there's just a lot of good wrestling going on.
There is. And that's the thing is, unfortunately, I know a lot of people don't watch NXT, and they should.
Yeah.
Because NXT puts on a consistently really good show, and that's without even having to use all of their stars.
Yeah, there's plenty of people that aren't on NXT every week. It's they like I feel like wrestling is getting good when even TNA is good. You know,
yeah.
That's how you know it's in a good spot.
Now the one thing we need is Ring of Honor to consistently be on TV so we can fucking watch that, Tony.
I mean, isn't AEW just kind of it's ROH but reskinned at this point?
It does feel like
he also has ROH. He owns ROH.
Yeah,
it's a thing.
I know. He just. When was the last? Has he done anything since buying it?
Yeah, they just have random pay-per-views. Shit, they have a TV show. I don't know what the fuck it's on.
Oh yeah. I watched Ring of Honor get taped when I went to go watch Collision.
Oh shit! I didn't know that.
Yeah, Ring of Honor. Ring of Honor are the dark matches for AEW now. That's why they got rid of AEW Dark. So before every AEW show, they film 2 Ring of Honor matches before every AEW show.
I'm smelling what you're cooking. Okay.
Ring of Honor, man, I don't understand why Tony Khan bought them. Like,
I think he's won the backlog.
To save it. No, because they were closing down, and he bought it to quote unquote save it, and then he put a bunch of people down there, like Athena.
Yeah, why isn't she on?
I haven't seen them ever again. I mean, she's doing amazing work down there. And everybody that watches her matches are like, these are some of the best women's matches you can possibly watch. Cool. Let's get her on real TV then.
Yeah, like that. No, that's what I'm saying. Like, why did he buy Ring of Honor? Why wouldn't he want AEW to be the new Ring of Honor? And like AEW, I get that AEW wants to draw the comparisons to WCW, right? Like they want to be, the next competitor or whatever. Like I get what they're trying to do there, but I don't know if that's the company that you want to be comparing yourself to. I think if you wanted to present yourself as the wrestling fans' favorite company, because like that's what they want to be. They don't want to be the WWE fan. They want to be the pro wrestling fan company. And what was more of a pro wrestlers fan promotion than Ring of Honor? That the whole point of Ring of Honor was that it was wrestling. That's why they shook hands. It was a competition. It was like that. That was the point. So like I don't understand why he wouldn't want to be compared to that. And I know that he bought it and he can compare himself to that now, but like they're still moving forward with this WCW branding at any moment that they get. And it's like, I just don't understand why they're not doing anything with Ring of Honor. They're not, you can watch it for fucking, I think $5 a month on like watchhonorclub.com or some bullshit like that. Like, no, what is this, 2012? No, I'm not fucking buying that. Like, no.
I mean, no, $5 a month, no. I watch Impact for $1 a month,
Yeah, and that's, even then, sometimes Impact isn't worth $1 a month. Like,
that's true.
But, I mean,
I'll tell you this, Dana Brooke becomes champion, they have to pay me to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's just it, though. I mean, they're at the point where TNA needs more women, because I believe at this point Jordynne Grace has beaten everybody.
Yeah, it feels like it. She's been champ for a while.
Unless they're going to be like, hey, we're going to bring in all these people from WWE, and oh no, they were able to get it. What? That's crazy. And do something like that. But otherwise, what are you doing? You're going to have somebody she's already beat her?
Who from TNA or who from NXT beats Jordynne Grace for the championship?
Tiffany Stratton.
Well, she's not on NXT.
Cashes it in.
That would be a wild fucking cash in.
Yeah, hey, if they want to do that, I don't think anybody would complain. I mean, I think it'd be a weird one, but I don't know if you get. Well, I mean, you probably get a lot of complaints, but I wouldn't complain.
Well, there are wrestling fans. If there's complaints to be had, there will be.
Yeah.
You know who they should have put over there? Blair Davenport. She hasn't been doing shit on SmackDown.
Oh, that's a good point, yeah.
Used to be one of the best female wrestlers in the world, and then WWE was like, cool, we can bury her. A British talent, get her in the back of the fucking line.
By God.
Because, I mean, Blair Davenport on the Indies was...
dangerous.
Really fucking talented, yeah. And just like Shotzi got neutered in WWE, Blair Davenport really got fucking neutered in WWE. Because Shotzi... like I said, the first time I ever watched Shotzi, she went headfirst into a pile of chairs outside the. That was my introduction to Shotzi Blackheart, and I was like, "What the fuck is she doing?" Came up with a bloody nose, fucked up face, just laughing.
Yeah, man, why not?
Yeah, I mean, send Blair over there. Fuck, send Shotzi over there when she's healthy. Send Dakota Kai. Because clearly WWE just isn't doing anything with them either. Right?
So you would send someone from the main roster over. You wouldn't send NXT?
I mean, if you're going to, again, what? Sol Ruka, Kalani Jordan, oh no, I forgot one of the girls' names. There's one really tall one. She'd be good to face her. Jordan Grace likes to show off her power anyway, so I mean, that'd work.
Yeah, I mean, I think Sol Ruka versus Jordan Grace would be a really good match. Especially when you have, like, Sol Ruka's ability to just do flips out of anything and Jordan Grace's ability to throw Sol Ruka like a rag doll. Yeah, I feel like that's a good combo. I feel like we have a good match right there.
That's one of those. It'd be like, well, I guess we'll see. You know, but
that would be like the nastiest soul cutter ever.
I don't think they'll ever send like their top talent over that way. Unfortunately.
No, yeah. I could see them sending over like a Blair Davenport or Dakota Kai though, and see them doing that. But it would have to, if they're going over there, it would have to be for the title. I don't think WWE would do it for anything less. You know, I don't think they would be like, well, let's send over a mid-carder just to fucking show up. Like, I feel like they'll do that with NXT. I mean, obviously they have. You know, they've sent over Wesley and the No Quarter Catch crew and you know, all of them. But I don't think they would do that for, like, anybody that's on the main roster. I feel like they have way too much invested in them on, you know, on the WWE product to let them be anything less than the best at the competitive company.
Yeah, well, and to that point, I mean, I don't think Jordan Grace has had a match that hasn't been for the belt in months.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Yeah, it feels like she's always defending it, which is good. That's how that should be. You know?
Yeah.
She should be defending it every opportunity. She's the champion. But I don't know. I've been saying it for weeks. I'm going to keep saying it until it happens. I just feel like there's got to be more. There's got to be more of a payoff to this. I feel like TNA just isn't getting the equal part of the deal. And maybe TNA is okay with that. You know, maybe they wanted to be the company to do this. And, you know, this is unprecedented. And people are talking about TNA, and obviously it helped their pay-per-view buys. So maybe that was all they wanted out of this. But I mean, I feel like at least from like a product perspective, I feel like WWE still has you beat, you know? Like, we're still sitting here talking about a TNA pay-per-view going, yeah, there's Matt Hardy, great. Like,
well, I don't think I'm ever going to be happy to see Matt Hardy in a wrestling ring.
It's time to retire.
Yeah.
You think?
Like, they're basically, I see the Hardys Ric Flairing their legacy, being like, they're going to be 62 and doing one more twist of fate, except this time he snaps all of his ankles.
Yeah, I mean, Jeff Hardy's off his fucking rocker again. I don't know. I've tagged Mike in a couple of the videos, but Gav, I don't know if you've seen them. Jeff Hardy has just been posting these videos online where he's just like crouched in his backyard, and it's usually like something he scribbled on a wall with chalk, or just like some random Jeff Hardy bullshit, and he just like will say some poetry or sing some lyrics to a song, and then you know, just do some Jeff, like, you just look at him and you're like, Jeff, are you okay? Are you like, I don't want to say he's fucked up on pills or anything, but it's like, man, have you had maybe one too many concussions and you just knocked a little goofy? Like, I don't know about this. Like,
well, you know what? It is Jeff Hardy, so at a level we're not really surprised.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't think anyone's ever gonna. I think Jeff Hardy, honestly, he probably could be stone cold sober and he could be fine, because this could just be Jeff Hardy.
Speaking of Jeff Hardy ending his career, let's end this on a high note. Jeff Hardy, hope you're okay, but it's time to hang the boots up. Anyway, that's my little rant on that.
Yeah, I mean,
it's okay. They held up the tag titles at one point. They want to go for them one more time.
Oh, good. The Hardy Boys for one more run. There we go. Yeah. Fuck. Man, even I don't want that, and I'm a Hardy Boys fan. I just want them to hang out and just, not kill themselves. Just be managers. Just...
Oh. Hey, in other news, a match that nobody would expect because when was the last time you saw him on TV? Karrion Kross and the Authors of Pain are facing Otis Tozawa and Xavier Woods.
Like now?
Sure.
On Raw?
Tonight
on Raw?
Happening. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Why? Man, Karrion Kross, I feel like, is someone that they really could... If they wanted someone to be, just a monster, I feel like if they wanted someone to be like, this dude is the quote-unquote, shoot fighter. He could be, the Ken Shamrock of his... Of this time. He could be the dude where it's man, that dude can fuck you up, and he can fuck you up. He's Karrion Kross is strong.
I think they fucked up his character so bad, though.
Yeah, they just need to give him some good squash matches.
Somebody in the ring. He could literally murder somebody in the ring, and people would be like, I don't care. He's still slain. I still don't want to watch him. I think they have screwed him up so many times that it just doesn't matter anymore. And there's only one way to find out. They just need to let go because the Authors of Pain haven't talked since they debuted. They've always had a manager. Their manager was Old Man Paul Ellering, and now Karrion Kross. And it's just let him go. Let him go do things on the indies and try and be successful there. Because you guys aren't using them anyways. Just release them.
Yeah, what are the Authors of Pain nowadays? They're the Road Warriors, apparently. Why do they have Paul Ellering with them? Why do they don't do anything? I know, but why? They don't do anything. They're not good. It's just a weird pairing of having Karrion Kross, and he's yeah, I could fuck a motherfucker up. He competes in international fucking jiu-jitsu competitions or whatever. He's an accomplished, actually heavily awarded fighter. And he's in the WWE at the same time. He should be a fucking monster. He should be a specialty. He's an occasion to go watch a Karrion Kross match. He should be on WWE doing promos and things like that because he can also talk. But in terms of how he should be in the ring, he should really be someone who's special.
Well, and that's the other thing is you see him on Instagram and stuff actually talking, and then you get him on the screen, and you're like, oh wow, he sounds terrible here. But oh well, we have Raw coming on.
Mm-hmm.
They're showing the tagline for Gunther versus Damian Priest, which we're gonna get to see. How many weeks away is SummerSlam?
3, I think. 2 or 3.
August 3rd.
Okay, so 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I'm down for it. Means
yeah,
next week we can talk about all the matches for it.
Predictions for next week?
Huh?
Predictions next week?
Yeah, probably.
Oh, maybe, because we may not be recording next week.
Oh.
Yeah, we'll see.
Fit it
we'll
in.
get there. Listen, at the very least, we'll talk about SummerSlam after the fact. But if you guys want to see what we do next week, because we don't even know yet, but if you guys want to see, you can go ahead and hit that subscribe button on YouTube. And if you're over on Spotify, you can go ahead and hit the follow button. I would tell you to leave a comment if you're on YouTube or Spotify, because Spotify told me that we were supposed to have comments now since they took away our fucking Q&A. But I don't know where the comments are. I've tried looking on the desktop app. I've looked on the website. I've looked on my phone. I can't find it. So somewhere on Spotify there's comments, but I can't see them. So leave us a comment on YouTube, I guess. We also have an interview with Tommy Vendetta coming up. It may already be out. It may have already happened. I don't know. But if you have any questions for Tommy, just go ahead and leave them in the comments below, and we'll ask them if we haven't recorded it already. But that'll be coming out soon. So keep an eye out for that. Tommy Vendetta, the XICW world champion.
Yeah, he's their main champion.
Main champion, the guy for XICW. It's a cool name. It sounds cool.
And if you're listening to this now, go look up his matches if you haven't seen him before. He has faced some big name people. Dude puts on a hell of a show.
Yeah, I put a clip of his in the group chat before we started recording. But I was scrolling through TikTok just eating dinner, and I saw a clip of him getting smacked in the head with a trash can by a big man named Otis Cougar. So that was a bloody match. So if you're into that kind of stuff, go ahead and look him up. We're also gonna have him on the podcast. We'll ask some questions, all that. But if you guys enjoyed me, you can go ahead and find me at twitch.tv/EraV1, or you can find me on YouTube at EraV1 Music.
If you like me, listen to me here. If you don't like me, I'm still trying to figure out how to get home from Era's house now that I was looking outside. This is going to take me a while. Boy.
Good luck. It's a long walk.
And if you want to hear what I have to say about it, well, you can listen to me at youtube.com/FireGuyKev, where I will be picking up Mike and driving him home.
Oh, thank God.
You're welcome.
Jackal's not here to eat the pin this week.
God damn it. I know. I was waiting for it, too.
Yeah, well, I mean, usually he's so easy to low blow. He's so easy to knock out, too, because he's got such a big head. Such a big target.
Me on this walk, because it is scary out here.
I mean, Mike, if you're still at Era's house, you could just break in real quick and pin him 1, 2, 3.
No, I'm right down the street. Where are you? I'm looking for you every.
Well, hold on. My GPS says you're 5 minutes away.
Wait, are you guys in my? Are you both of you in my house?
Don't worry about it.
No.
Do I need to change the locks?
Oh, you can try. It's not gonna matter.
Well, no, it's not gonna matter if you're already inside. But are you inside? Or are you down the street?
I got him, Mike. I got him. Come out of the closet.
2, 3.
Oh. Yeah. I kicked out at 3.5. I'm still
Bullshit.
strong. We gotta look big.
All right.
Get out of my house.
No.
Get out.
I'm getting us pizza. I'm staying.
No, don't eat my pizza. Fuck you.
I was going to order more.
Oh, you can order more. That's fine.
Oh, okay.